stressed out.
Just give me 5 minutes.
Just go for a walk.
Now you think the worst words a man could hear would be?
Oh, honey, it's okay. It happens to everyone.
But on the darker side, it could be a week later with your doctor frowning at you saying, I recommend a course of penicillin. Or just a paper report from an HIV test, reading the word positive. That's right, people. Welcome to the wonderful netherworld of erectile dysfunction and STDs. Everything you never wanted to know about sex and hope that you never find out, particularly not firsthand. But while ignorance may be bliss, it's definitely better to be prepared. Let's get the medical lowdown on the most important part of a man's life. I'm not kidding, boys. I mean, this is a guy show and all that. And we all know what really matters to us, our health and well-being, of course. Did you guys know more than 35% of men below 45 years of age suffer from sexual problems? That's 1 in 3. Staggering figure, huh? It's not something to laugh about, is it, Doc?
It's a serious problem, no doubt about that. And make no doubt about it that a lot of men are coming to the doctors nowadays and coming up with these problems of decreased libido. To be honest, once the family is completed and person has been busy with his work and all, when they enter their 40s and 50s, quite a few of men realize that the libido has come down, their frequency and the duration of sex has gone down, and somehow that kind of a joy is not there which was there before. I think these problems were there in the past also, but a lot of patients have started coming and sharing the problems with doctors and hoping that some sort of a treatment can be found for them. Having said that, there are a fair amount of medical problems also in which patients have problems of libido which can be sorted out, and one of the commonest ones which comes to the mind straight away is probably diabetes mellitus. Now you know that diabetes India is the diabetes capital of the world, and in a diabetic patient it's very common to have decreased libido, decreased ejaculation and those kind of problems. And a lot of men who have diabetes, and especially if they're poorly controlled, and if questions are asked specifically related to libido, or even they come up with questions, it has a direct correlation in a diabetic patient. Plus there are many other conditions in which neurological conditions or psychological conditions in which these things can come about. So I would say yes, it's a rampant problem. People have started coming and discussing with doctors, and a fair amount of discussion takes place nowadays in OPDs regarding decreased libido amongst men.
Yep, most men like to keep it under wraps for the fear of being ridiculed about it. But I have someone who not only came into the open with it, but also got the better of the situation. You go, man.
Well, actually, I work in the entertainment business, and I have really crazy hours. I wake up early, I go to sleep really late, and it's a lot of stress. So it got to the point where I was able to, perform at work, but the home front wasn't looking so good.
So how long did it take for you before you went to the doctor? And were you embarrassed?
Hell yeah, I was embarrassed. It took me a long time to go to the doctor, and that was only after my girlfriend made me. And by the time when I got there, the doctor just said it's no lacking on my part, but it's an issue with my nervous system because I'm too stressed. And so he basically told me to relax and take it easy.
That's what you got to do. And as it turned out, that was the right decision. Let's talk to the medical expert on how lifestyle and libido go hand in hand.
A modern lifestyle has certainly resulted in lower libido. We find that even while there is much more interaction between the genders at a younger age, we also find that at the same time the high levels of stress, the high levels of reaching out to ensure a livelihood on the one hand, the smoking and the alcohol on the other hand, impacts lifestyle in several different ways. Your routine is impacted, your stress levels are increased, you have less sleep. All of these tend to impact your lifestyle, which reduces your capability or ability to be able to actually have a sexual involvement on the one hand. On the other hand, you find that smoking and alcohol and environment actually reduces the sperm count, the motility of the sperm, the capacity of the sperm to be able to fertilize the egg. So we find now that modern man has a lower sexual libido and a lower sexual motility, the inability to procreate children. Both these are very relevant problems today.
Now it's an established fact that low libido is part medical and part mind. Well, I'm no slack in the dating game and quite the pro in what follows after the game. It just wouldn't be right for me to toot my own horn, would it? So let's bring in my special friend here for some friendly advice.
Sex drive is not just a physical thing. It's partly physical, but it's partly in the mind. It's a matter of belief in your own ability to deliver.